Attention all MMA fans. On Saturday, June 5th, a war will be taking place. The card is headlined by heavyweight knockout artist Rozenstruik, but there's another fight I had my eyes on. Proven UFC veteran and knockout artist Santiago Ponzinibbio will be taking on rising star Miguel Baeza. While both of these fighters are BJJ black belts, this fight's most likely going to stay on the feet. Ponzinibbio does have 6 submission wins, but he also has 15 finishes by knockout, which is nearly half his fights. And Baeza has an even higher KO rate, finishing 7 of his 10 professional fights by knockout. Looking at those numbers, this fight's most likely not going the distance, and it's most likely going to be a war. Miguel Baeza is a 28-year-old of Puerto Rican descent who grew up in Davie, Florida. His professional record sits at a perfect 10-0, but if you count his amateur fights, 14-0. Baeza's 2019 win on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series earned him a contract with the UFC. Since earning this contract, Baeza's gone 3-0 in the UFC, finishing all 3 fights, 2 by TKO and 1 by submission. Baeza's first true love was boxing, which you can see in his current fighting style as he finishes most of his fights with his hands. While Baeza does have great fight IQ and incredible poise and composure, he's not afraid to fight in close range and bang it out and trade shots. Baeza is one of the hottest prospects we currently have in the welterweight division. And beyond that, I believe he'll make a name for himself as one of the more exciting fighters on the entire UFC roster. Alright, now to the other half of this fight. Proven UFC veteran Santiago Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio is a 34-year-old of Argentinian descent. As a teenager, he actually moved from Argentina to Brazil to train MMA because it was still illegal in Argentina. Ponzinibbio has a record of 27-4 with notable wins over Neil Magny, Mike Perry, Gunnar Nelson, and Nordine Taleb. While Ponzinibbio is a well-rounded fighter, his primary martial art is kickboxing. Now, much like Miguel Baeza, Ponzinibbio does have a high fight IQ, but at the same time, he is a super aggressive fighter, especially when he smells blood. Now, what makes this fight even more interesting is that Ponzinibbio's last win came in November of 2018. In December of 2019, he was supposed to face Robbie Lawler. Unfortunately, he had to pull out of the fight due to a staph infection. Then, when he was recovering from the staph infection, all major sports stopped and the whole world shut down due to the coronavirus. Finally, in January of 2021, he made his return. However, he lost by knockout to Li Jingliang. It's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back from that loss because if we rewind time back to 2018, he wasn't that far from a title shot. Maybe 1 or 2 more impressive wins and he might have got his shot. So long story short, if you only watch one fight on June 5th's UFC card, make sure it's Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Miguel Baeza.